two groups of objects I want you to bring in. First of all, I want you to bring in two animal silhouettes, which are going to be produced on half a page of A4 each. And then you go and choose which one you want to use for the collage. And then you go into bring in around 8 to 10 man-made objects and 3 or 4 leaves. So you can see this candidate here has got his objects ready to go. He's cut them out. So he's going to make the process more straightforward when it comes to arranging those objects and creating the collage. So before we start doing that, let's take out the two silhouettes. Leave those to one side. Now, obviously, if one was to cut this one out, it would be far more difficult, but if you do it well, it would get a higher mark, whereas this one is going to be easier to cut out, but perhaps wouldn't get as high a mark. Obviously, if you do this one well and this one badly, this one is still going to get a higher mark. So what I'm going to do first of all, fold my paper in half. So for this demonstration, we're going to use that one. So you're going to get given two sheets of card. First of all, what we're going to do is going to take the first sheet of card. We're going to now go round the outside of the silhouette with our pencil. I'm going to go slightly bigger just so you can see that I am putting pencil down around the outside. Slightly blunter pencil is better for this because it allows a thicker line of pencil to go round the shape, and then when you transfer it as a tracing, it'll show up a little bit better. So I've gone round that with a pencil. So next thing I'm going to do is take my sheet of card, take that over the top, and if you look carefully, you'll just be able to see the outline. So now I'm going to go round the outline with my pencil, and I'll just can see the tracing is starting to transfer. Trying to hold the paper in position so it doesn't move. Quite difficult to see through sometimes, but if you look closely, you will be able to just about see the outline of the black silhouette. So that's our tracing. If there's any parts which you can't quite see, it'll be quite easy to make them up and fill in those particular gaps. So the next thing we need to do is we need to cut that out. We are going to need cutting board, craft knife. So if you look at using a craft knife, first of all, you don't want the blade to come out more than one click. So you can just about see one of these lines, and then it locks into position by moving these two clips apart so you can see the orange in between. If you get a knife, for example, like this, you've got this back clip which is missing and you don't want to use that. Be very careful. if you push the blade out too far and then you start to cut, there's a chance the blade will snap and it could flick up and hit you in the eye. One of the reasons these blades have got lines on them is that they are meant to break. So for example, if you have a blade which is blunt, you can bring it to me and then I will clip off the last section, and then you have a fresh sharp blade to work with. Now when it comes to cutting out, some people hold the blade like a pencil. A lot of people find it easier to hold it this way to get more pressure onto the blade to cut through the card and work standing up. The most important thing to do is to put your hand in front of the blade and cut towards you, moving around as you go. What you don't want to do is lose concentration and then suddenly work your way around and then start cutting with your hand behind the blade, because then if you slip, you're going to cut your hands, and I've seen people slice the top of their finger off in this way, so be very careful. Once you've cut a little bit, check you're going through the card. Take your time going around the corners and cutting it slightly outside the line so you can see where I'm cutting it, and then if there's little bits like that which haven't cut through, take your time to make sure they've cut through. And finally, just to finish off this last bit, now there's two reasons I've cut outside the pencil line. One, so you can see where I was cutting, and secondly, just cut that out a little bit there, and secondly, so I can't see any pencil lines on the front of my collage. Just check you're happy with every area, so I can see a little bit of card sticking out there. And apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just going to neaten up this little area there. So that's our collage. Now, if you did have a lot of pencil lines on the front, if you turn it this way, you can see it is the same image as the printout.